von der Fraktion der Allianz der Liberalen und Demokraten für Europa für 2 Minuten.
Thank you, Madam President, Commissioner and colleagues. A disaster of historic proportion is taking place in our neighborhood. On top of the Assad regime's ongoing use of violence, such as through barrel bombs against his own Syrian citizens, Daesh has added new dimensions of unbearable horror and suffering to millions of people's lives. People who want a future for their children, safety and freedom, just like you and I. Daesh's barbaric violence has sent 2 million Iraqis on the run in 2014 alone. We saw them with our own eyes as we visited North Iraq. But most of the areas in the whole of Iraq are not even accessible to humanitarian aid organizations because they are so violent. And we see a downward spiral of despair and suffering that in turn helps the success of recruiters for jihadist organizations. Now specifically targeted in a way that can only be seen as attempts at ethnic cleansing are minorities. Christian, Yazidi, Kurdish, Sabak and others, but most of all Iraqis, are in a very, very bad situation, and their treatment, as well as that of LGBT people, must stop. For girls and women that are violently abused by militants, there is no specific psychological help. For youth, there is mostly no education. So I ask you, when does the risk of a lost generation turn into a somber reality? We cannot allow this to happen. Now, the situation of refugees and IDPs is already dire. I've seen little children's feet on frozen ground. But with the rise of temperatures, also the risk of epidemics rises. We need a comprehensive approach because we expect the liberation of Mosul soon. But it will also send many more people again to flee violence and will require even more assistance. If we believe, as I do, that it is in our interest to take action and that domestic and foreign threats are increasingly blurred, we must work not only on increased EU efforts but also with partners, notably in the Middle East, to end the horrors of IS and alleviate the humanitarian suffering.
Danke, Frau Schaake. Der nächste Redner ist Herr Javier Cuso-Permuy von der konföderalen Fraktion der Vereinigten Europäischen Linken, Nordische Grüne Linke, für 1 Minute 30.
Gracias, Presidenta. 5 millones de desplazados internos, casi 4 millones viviendo bajo el yugo del Estado mal llamado islámico,